Fire and Silver, written by Wes Valor, narrated by Walrath. Chapter 1. A crisp wind carried the first hint of winter. Perched on a commanding cliff above the deep blue waters of the Evelyn Sea, the Onyx Palace stood as the crowning jewel of the capital. Seat of House Aaronwood, it was a masterpiece of regal architecture, broad, majestic, and stately rather than towering. Its black stone facade gleamed in the sunlight, stretching wide along the cliff's edge. Inside, more than 700 rooms unfolded behind vast arched windows. Crystal chandeliers, trimmed with black diamonds, lit the winding corridors. Every hall and richly adorned chamber whispered of history, tradition, and quiet power. Prince Victor Aaronwood lingered in his private quarters, a man whose lips many women only dreamed of kissing. His close-cropped black hair spoke of military discipline, while his warm umber skin and pointed elven ears enhanced his striking allure. He lay in bed, slowly opening his silver eyes, the unmistakable mark of the silver gene, a hereditary trait that granted him powerful telekinetic abilities. But none of that mattered right now, because beside him rested Aaliyah Goodwick, her olive skin glowing softly against the white sheets, raven hair spilling over her shoulders. Her hourglass figure still captivated him. He admired her sculpted curves with quiet satisfaction. How was it possible she still took his breath away? Every morning, she looked like a dream. No crown, no duty, no title had ever given him what she did: serenity. If the world ended tomorrow, at least I'd have no regrets, especially after those massages. Gods, the things she could do with her hands. Honestly, it's a miracle some other man didn't snatch her up first. But hey, his loss. The air was scented with perfume. Candlelight bathed the room in a soft golden glow as they lay in intimate closeness. A mirror on the ceiling reflected their shared pleasure, adding to the intensity of the moment, all of it unfolding atop a lavish redwood bed, unmistakably fit for royalty. As the eldest of the Aaronwood brothers, Victor knew he was destined to one day ascend the throne, the High King of Eden, ruler of its 4 elven kingdoms. But for now, he let himself savor the stillness. He grinned as Aaliyah rested her head on his chest. Life was good for the prince. Her mismatched eyes, one emerald, the other brown like cinnamon, gave her a distinct charm. She even smelled of cinnamon, Victor mused, as he ran his fingers through her black hair. Aaliyah smiled, biting her lower lip, and he answered with a playful wink. Leaning in, the dark-haired beauty kissed him softly on the mouth. "My sweet prince," she whispered, her lilting accent echoing the sounds of Mensen, the independent human city to the south of the Eden continent. Aaliyah nestled against Victor until the doors suddenly burst open. She shrieked and dove beneath the sheets as Queen Bernice stormed in, prepared to disrupt Victor's morning yet again. "Mother, I'm hardly wearing anything," Victor groaned, pulling the covers up. "Nothing I haven't seen before," Bernice shot back. "Get dressed. You can play with your human whore later. There's been a disturbance in our family." Bernice Aaronwood, ruler of the 4 elven kingdoms, Onyx, Ruby, Emerald, and Sapphire, wore a regal purple gown embroidered with delicate silver swirls, tailored to emphasize her commanding presence. Her burnished bronze skin, pointed ears, and long, intricately braided black hair mirrored Victor's elven lineage. Anger flared in Victor at her rudeness. "First of all, her name is Aaliyah, not whore, and second—" "Listen, Victory," Bernice snapped, cutting him off. "The Sonja monsters took Malcolm, his human patrol partner, She waved her fingers, trying to recall the name. Delilah, that's it. She just alerted the guards. Victor sat up, still in his underwear, fumbling for his clothes. What? How did this happen? Bernice waved him off. I don't know the details, only that you must act with haste. Use your abilities to find him, before it's too late. Go, now. Then, her gaze turned to Aaliyah, sharp as a blade. You, human girl, gather yourself and leave. My son must focus on saving his brother, not dallying with you. Victor opened his mouth to protest, but Bernice silenced him with a single look. As High Queen, her word was law. Aaliyah offered a faint, understanding smile. Clad in a yellow nightgown, she gracefully pushed her long black hair away from her face and stepped forward. If it pleases your grace, she said politely, may I change in Prince Victor's bathroom? My clothes are in there. I'll be gone shortly. Before the Queen could object, Prince Victor said, Yes, Aaliyah, you can. He stared her down, daring to challenge her authority. Though she rolled her eyes, Queen Bernice gave a reluctant nod. Aaliyah smiled at Victor, but her eyes were like steel before disappearing into the bathroom. He knew she wanted to tell the Queen off, but with his mother's status, it would have been foolish. Ah, my mother's pettiness never ceases, Victor thought as he donned his onyx knight uniform. The polished buttons and medals gleamed in the sunlight spilling through the windows, bathing the room in warm gold. He rushed to the second floor of his quarters, where an array of firearms lined the wall. His eyes quickly found his prized possessions, Jet and Jasper, twin black pistols custom-built for rapid fire and quick draw, with enhancements he had designed himself. Lifting them with care, he admired the intricate engravings like a connoisseur savoring fine wine. Jet and Jasper were made for one purpose: destruction. Their ebony grips bore the golden lion, the proud sigil of House Aaronwood. Their familiar weight brought a flicker of calm, but anger and concern for his kidnapped brother churned beneath it. Victor loaded the magazines with standard lead bullets, effective against the Sonja. Without offering farewells to his mother or Lady Aaliyah, he strode out of his quarters. I am bringing Malcolm home, he declared. Urgency surged through him as he passed through the towering 80-foot walls of the Capitol and crossed the drawbridge. Now beyond the city walls, Prince Victor entered the eerie shadows of the Raven Forest, pushing through underbrush and tangled vines. With his silver jean senses on high alert, he caught a familiar trace of lavender, his brother Malcolm's favorite lotion and bath soap. But the comforting scent was quickly overwhelmed by the sour stench of Sonja monsters, sharp and rank like rotting onions. Victor grimaced. Ahead, the trees thinned, revealing a rocky outcropping and the yawing mouth of a cave. The stench was nearly unbearable. With pistols drawn, Victor crept forward. The sinking sun lit only the first few feet. Beyond that, it was all shadow. Somewhere in that gloom, the Sonja waited. He stepped inside. The cave's high ceiling swallowed him in darkness. His shadow vanished into the void. Activating his silver gene abilities, Victor pierced the pitch black with owl-like clarity. The sound of dripping water and faint wind whispers echoed through the stone halls like a haunted symphony. He descended deeper, pistols firm in hand, breath steady. Then, ruby eyes glowed in the darkness. A dozen Sonja or more stared at him in eerie silence, their gaunt bodies twitching, their breath ragged and rasping. Victor braced himself as the first snarling creature lunged. With uncanny precision, he fired between its sunken eyes, dropping it in a single shot. Two more charged at him, but Victor's gun roared, cutting them down before their claws could reach him. More Sonja sprang at him. Victor raised his twin pistols, every movement precise and controlled. Each shot was mathematically lethal, his ambidextrous aim unerring. Muzzle flashes lit the cave in harsh bursts, gunfire cracking through the air. The smell of burnt powder filled his nose as smoke rose from the barrels, drifting in the dim light. Two more charged in a frenzy, claws slashing. Victor moved in a blur. He front somersaulted over them, and while airborne, twin flames erupted from the mouths of his barrels, blasting both creatures in the head. Purple brain matter splattered in all directions. He landed firmly on his feet. Suddenly, fetid breath brushed the back of his neck, massive jaws snapping down from behind. Victor ducked and rolled, narrowly evading the ambush. In one fluid motion, he spun mid-crouch and blasted the creature's legs out from under it. Helpless, it dragged itself forward, bloody limbs scraping across the stone. Sensing its fear, Victor stepped in slowly. He raised his boot and brought it down hard, crushing the creature's withered head in a single brutal stomp. Dark purple blood and brain matter clung to his soul, a grim end to its suffering. As Victor pressed deeper into the cave, his silver gene vision revealed a horrific sight. In the far recesses lay the mutilated body of Prince Malcolm, his chest cavity torn open, flesh shredded. Victor rushed to him, dropping to his knees, but only glazed eyes stared back, lifeless. The weight of failure hit harder than any claw. "No, Malcolm!" he choked, anguish tightening his throat. He'd been too late. The image of his brother's broken body would haunt him forever. Malcolm deserved better. Such a noble heart shouldn't have met this end. Grief hardened into rage, bitter, raw, unstoppable. "I couldn't protect you, little brother, but I swear on my life, I'll avenge this." Victor's jaw tightened, fury burning beneath his sorrow. For now, all he could do was mourn, kneeling in the damp dark as silence closed around him like a shroud. But a guttural snarl shattered the stillness. From the shadows lumbered an enormous she-beast, towering over her fallen kin, easily 3 times their size. Long matted hair hung in filthy strands from her patchy scalp. Her sagging bare chest swung grotesquely with each lurching step, the exaggerated femininity making her all the more monstrous. Victor rose to meet her. "Right on cue, you ugly bitch," he growled, silver eyes blazing. She bellowed at the sight of her slaughtered pack and charged, jaws snapping. Victor fired, dodged, and leapt as claws slashed past. His shots found their mark, but barely slowed her. He backpedaled under the feral onslaught. This wasn't a fight he could afford to drag out. He had to end it. In one bold move, Victor rolled beneath the beast's massive bulk, unloading both pistols point blank into its heart as he slid past. The creature let out a final, ragged howl before crashing down, cratering the stone floor where it fell. Victor approached, slowly, pistols raised. The she-beast lay still, purple blood pooling beneath her. He holstered his weapons and returned to his brother's side. "One more monster down," he thought grimly, "but it won't bring Malcolm back." Cradling Malcolm's cold body, he stepped out of the silent caverns and into the dark forest. Moonlight and starlight filtered through the trees, his owl-like vision leading the way. But there was no relief, no victory, only sorrow. "I should have gotten here sooner." He cursed himself for the delay, even as he vowed no one else would suffer this fate. The forest felt empty now, every triumph hollow. With a heavy heart, Victor began the long walk back to the capital, his brother's body in his arms. One last promise to the one he couldn't save.